No, Katy J Thornton 02 is my TikTok name, and
Right, but
I
there's
need
somebody
to
there before you. There's two people there before you.
Probably when she was
guys,
born.
guys, that's my birth year.
Oh my God.
There is a podcast in Iowa, Farm4Profit was named by they. Fate stirred up a banker near, then quick came an auctioneer. Making profit was their first goal, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Soon may the farmers come to bring us guests and beer and fun. One day when the recording's done, we'll take our mics and go. These formats shook us to our core. With Farm4Fun, you will not snore. The banker set all mics to on, and the mullet of podcasts was born. Soon may the farmers come to bring us guests and beer and fun. One day when the recording's done, we'll take our mics and go. Before we knew, conversations grew. Growing corn even said F you. So won't you join Tenor, Dave, Corey, and crew? Please like, share, review. Soon may the farmers come to bring us guests and beer and fun. One day when the recording's done, we'll take our mics and go.
Hey, listeners, welcome back to the Farm4Profit podcast. This is Tanner Winterhoff.
This is Corey Hillebow.
And Dave's coming. He said he's on his way.
Yeah.
He's going to get here.
Yeah. I think he had a phone call.
Farm4Fun episode. We're talking to a person. Well, we talk to people every time.
I was going to say, hopefully you always talk to a person.
We're going to focus on the person, and we're going to learn from them this week, this episode. Our Farm4Profit shows, we focus on a topic. So that's one of the differences. We have a little bit more fun. We have fun all the time. We have a little bit more fun during these Farm4Fun shows.
More laid back.
But listeners, we love getting guest suggestions from you. You can email us to us or text them to us, farm4profitllc@gmail.com. Phone number is 515-207-9640. We always love the listener reviews, whether they're on Apple or Spotify or you send them to us directly. We don't do this without your help.
Yep. Today's listener review is brought to you by Gearinghoff, head of the class, no matter the crop. Tanner mentioned something about a razor, TrueFlex razor today, so it got me a little excited. So we'll see if we can get something worked out there.
Best in the industry.
Yep. So today's review is actually from a text message from the 608 area. It says, thank you guys for the extra episode a week. It's the best thing since sliced bread. Helps my third shift milking go by a little quicker 2 nights a week now. So awesome.
Perfect.
So he probably wants us to do it, or she, I don't know, wants us to do it, 7 days a week since they're milking on the third shift.
I don't know if we could keep up.
No.
I would love to be able to do this 7 days a week.
No.
But that could be you. That could have been your text being reviewed. 515-207-9640. But they're tired of listening to just us.
Yep.
They want to meet who we get to meet.
For sure. Today on the Farm4Fun show, we are heading way up to the northwest to hang out with another ag social media star. This girl's all smiles while showing more than 257,000 followers on TikTok and 24,000 followers on Instagram. All the ins and outs of apple farming. She is your favorite apple girl from Washington, Miss Katy Thornton.
All right. Woo-hoo.
Wow, I've never experienced that before. I played sports in high school, and I never even got that introduction.
Woo.
My goodness.
I missed my calling for a high school sports announcer.
You could still do it. Your daughters are young.
That's true. That's true. I won't have any time for this then. Welcome, Katy. Just give us a little bit about you. I said you're from Washington, but who are you? What you do?
I'm entering my second year at Washington State University, so I'm studying marketing right now, and I want to go back into ag with that and hopefully make some farmers some money. I was born and raised on an apple and pear orchard here in north central Washington, and I mean like way north. I'm about 20 minutes from Canada. Whoa. So that is the best area to grow apples and pears, though.
So how do you not have a Canadian accent?
It comes out sometimes.
Probably she's like mad or something. I saw something the other day. Someone Southern was like, the madder I get, the more my Southern accent, or the thicker it gets.
Yeah, no, it doesn't take me very long. When I hang out with anyone with an accent, I automatically get it. Like I was in Tennessee, I was in Nashville last month, and I came back with a little bit of a twang.
Oh, that's cool.
That happens.
That would be fun. So you said an apple and pear orchard.
Yes, sir.
So is it mostly apples or mostly pears?
So we're actually about 60% pears and 40% apples. So we grow less apples than pears, which is shocking to everyone because I'm always talking about apples.
Right.
That's because apples are my true passion and Dad is the one who cares about the pears more.
I don't know much about pears. I love pears.
I mean, there's got to be a lot of similarities to growing them, right?
Yes, yes, there is. Yeah, and they both like the same kind of climates and stuff.
Yeah. Well, obviously, yeah. I guess they're grown on the same farm. That would be. Whoa, gosh, God.
Yeah.
Motorcycle every time.
Okay, so you're up there just off the Canadian border, and you said, was this a family orchard? This is the whole family is involved, or who's involved out there?
So I'm a fourth generation grower. My dad and mom started back in the 80s, but actually our family originally moved up here. My great grandpa moved up here in, I think, 1925 and had about 100 acres of apples. I don't think he grew pears though. So just apples, and then had some cattle. And then for years, he had about 8 kids. I think he actually had more than that. But for years, the family all ran it, packed their own fruit. And then eventually over family dispute, anyone who is in a family farm knows that sometimes mixing family and business is not always the greatest thing. And so eventually lost that. And then my grandpa was actually a doctor, but still kept interest in the farming side of things, had a few acres down here and would come and work on the orchard, then brought my dad along. And then my dad had his first, I guess, harvest with his sister when he was 13 and kind of fell in love with it and took it from there. So my parents started with about 23 acres and now here we are at about 440 operational acres.
So you're fourth gen, but it almost skipped a generation.
It almost did, but my grandpa still had those roots there and still kept some land. And his favorite thing to do was being a doctor and being the only doctor in a very small town. Here's everyone's business. So he would love to come down just about an hour west and came down and would get on a tractor.
Yeah.
Work on the orchard.
I get it.
Yeah.
Clear your head. That's me as a banker. Some of my favorite moments is to go sit in a semi or a tractor out of my office.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah. So you guys, was it 40% apples, 60% pears? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Is it all the same variety of pear, all the same variety of apples, or do you have multiple varieties?
No, we grow about 10 different varieties of apples and then about 6 different varieties of pears.
And where?
I didn't know there was 6 varieties of pears.
Oh my goodness, there's so many.
Yeah, I bet.
And there's
I can't be the
thousands of
only
varieties of apples.
I knew there was a ton of apples.
And are most of your product ending up in like a grocery store, like as a whole fruit, or is there stuff going for processed goods?
Yeah, we grow commercially. So what we do is we grow the fruit and then we get them on a semi truck and send them off to a warehouse, and then the warehouse will store it. And then when their orders come in, they're working with bigger retailers, and that's how they move that volume. And so when they get their orders in, they'll get the bin of fruit that we picked and then process it. And so some of that fruit is actually cold and some of it goes as what we call peelers, which go to whether it's applesauce, apple cider, apple juice, any of that processed stuff. And that's how they kind of sort it out.
So do pears have the same thing? Is there such thing as a pear sauce?
There's canners.
Ah,
Canned pears, yeah.
that would make more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an alcohol made from pears?
I'm sure there is. I know people make pear kombucha, and that is very relative.
Right.
Right.
You'd think you'd got to.
We had Blake's Hard Cider from Michigan
right
on, and they have a lot of apples and make a lot of alcohol. But then I was just thinking, I was like, man, I bet pear would be pretty good.
Oh yeah, pear is a great complementary fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I had to look it up where pears originated from. And if anybody else was as curious as I am, they are originated in southeastern.
Let's see if she knows.
Oh.
Southeastern where? Do you know where pears are from?
Southeastern Europe.
Nailed it.
Ah.
Nailed it. They were the favorite fruit of the ancient Greeks and Romans. Ancient Greek author Homer described them as gifts from the gods.
Where'd apples originate from?
I don't know.
You know, there was this guy called Johnny Appleseed.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
I
Which came
have no
first,
idea.
the
Really.
apple or the seed?
Said originally from Central Asia,
Kazakhstan?
east of the Caspian Sea.
Is that where Adam and Eve started out?
She
maybe.
might be onto something here. Look at that.
That's just weird. Like, I'd love to see the first apple, like, you know, like the first ear of corn. Like it was not an ear. It doesn't look like an ear of corn
They were golden.
right now. Like, and they were like, well, it's just like almost like wheat, like a smaller, you know, head of grain. So it's kind of cool to see that kind of stuff where it came.
The
came from.
evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. With my like social media following, so I'll post a video talking about apples and get people excited about apples. And even though the Bible never said it was an apple that Eve tried, eat apple like Adam and Eve tried, people always compare me to Eve, and they're like,
Oh.
we learned our lesson or whatever." I'm like, "No, no. That's not what happened."
I don't think I would have drawn the conclusion of 2 and 2.
So you bit the fruit.
So you're
bit
nobody.
the apple.
Nobody wants the forbidden fruit from you.
Apparently not.
What matters is what kind of apple it was.
So Perry is the known name for a pear cider. It's an alcoholic beverage made from fermented pears. Traditionally, the Perry pear.
Well, if any of our listeners have any of that or have a hookup, we would love to try some.
So out there on, I was going to call it the ranch, but you call it an orchard. Orchard, right?
We call it the ranch, though, too.
Okay. So is there more than fruit trees on the ranch?
I used to have like 3 horses, and I want cows, but I haven't got there yet. So for right now, it is an orchard with a collection of trucks, if you want to count that as.
There you go. So you said you had a couple years left at Washington State University, correct?
Yeah, I have a year and a half left.
What are you studying?
Marketing.
How do you have time, or how involved are you on the farm?
Pretty involved. So like the reason I was running late is I was going down to get I was picking up a 4-wheeler. And so I do stuff like that. I'll move equipment. I do road work. I love it here because I'm always doing something different every day. And then, you know, you're a banker, so we were getting refinanced. And so I got to be a part of a lot of those meetings and stuff in the last couple of years, seeing more of that side of things. Managing, I also have my own business where I sell fruit locally. So do stuff with that. I'm going to be picking apricots here in a couple of days. Just got a few trees of those.
You didn't say that you
And
had
then-
those.
Apricots?
Yeah.
I always thought it was apricots. But
Because math for me, 60% pears and 40% apples meant that there wasn't any percent left over. So where do you pick your apricots?
We have about 2 rows of trees of apricots, and that's actually like kind of what started my passion for this industry, the fruit industry. When I was about 15 years old, Dad was like, "Hey, we've got these apricot trees. The fruit's gonna drop, or you can do something with them." And I was like, "Great, I'm gonna make some money out of this." Well, for years we'd just pick the fruit as kids, and then sell them at a bulk price to a grocery store. Just got rid of all the fruit. Well, it was my turn, and I was like, "No, I want to get a little more money for them, and do some more direct sales." So I utilized Facebook Marketplace, and I posted an ad on there. Dad's like, "I'll be impressed if you sell about 20 boxes of apricots." And I'm like very competitive.
Yeah.
And so I actually sold 44 boxes that first year of apricots. And then he was like, "Hey, you're actually good at this." And so I moved into pears and then apples and ended up selling over 400 boxes my first year. And that was, so I was about a sophomore then.
So they're fruit. They're fresh fruit. You're not refrigerating them. You're selling fresh boxes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as apples and pears, the guys will be picking whatever block, and then I'll get in a bin. And then when I get my orders in, I go to the bin, and then I do fresh packs out of the bin instead of going picking directly.
I kind of like that, you know, getting involved in something that's similar to the farm, but maybe kind of on your own trail a little bit. I did the same. Have you ever heard of aronia berries
No.
or chokeberries? So
yeah.
they're actually they're related to apples, and a very small tart berry. But we tried growing those, failed miserably. But the passion to blaze my own trail was there. So.
And you learn a lot, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I wasn't willing to wait around and be patient.
Am I the only one that calls them apricots?
That's what I said. I said I was called.
That is a running debate amongst my followers because I have people from all over, and I didn't realize that people call them apricots. I'm like,
What do you call them?
She calls them
Apricots.
apricots.
Apricots. Can you make alcohol to those? What's the alcohol out of those called? Since I don't know, I'm just sitting here staring at Busch Light, and it's on my mind.
We again are proudly partnered up with Busch Light. Busch Light is the official beer of the Farm for Profit podcast and our Farm for Fun shows. So we have been trying a lot of different things. And do I need to put more in it?
I'm putting some more in. I want like the full flavor.
You want the full flavor? So that's enough for me. Chuck Weldon blazed the trail for us with this one. So we have Busch Light. What did you just sprinkle into my drink here?
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire sauce?
Worcestershire.
Yeah, say that one.
Classic Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire.
What do you say? How do you say it?
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
There you go.
Ah.
I'm with Katie on this one.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So he chucked it, and we did Busch Light and Mountain Dew,
And it was good.
and it was, shouldn't have been that good.
So did somebody else try this, or did you guys just make this up?
Chuck Weldon did. And he poured more in.
Yeah.
He said it was good. All right, here we go. Bottoms up.
I don't think this is going to be as good.
Wow. That's good. I like that.
Not as good as the Mountain Dew and Busch Light, but
No.
it's not as bad as you think it would be.
You got to get past the smell.
It's like you took a bite of burger and washed it down with a Busch Light.
Oh, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
If you put Worcestershire
Well,
on your burger.
have you ever mixed like Worcestershire and barbecue and like a bunch of spices in your burger?
Yeah.
Oh man, it makes good stuff.
This is way more refreshing than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, I might have put too much.
You got to get past the smell. Here, top it off. There you go. Do you, I should ask you, Katie, how old are you?
So I turned 20 in 2 days.
Okay, so a year from now, you can try Worcestershire sauce in your favorite beer.
A year and 2 days.
A year and 2 days.
Yeah.
A year in 2 days.
It is funny because I do go to Washington State, and anyone who knows Washington State is a notorious party school. And what we call Pullman water, so the college town I'm in, Pullman water is Busch Light.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Really?
So, and then when everyone discovered Busch Apple,
Oh.
I got notified about it because I'm the Apple girl, and so everyone was just like, "This is my new favorite. You should partner with it." I'm like,
Yes,
I can't
you should.
even.
You should have been sponsored. Too bad you weren't 2 years older.
Hey, they got a year to figure it out.
Uh-huh.
It's their last year with Busch Light Apple.
Yeah, our people will talk to your people, and maybe they'll put some in storage for you.
Yep. They pulled the cord on it this year.
Maybe we can get you the license to make the apple additive.
Or you
it,
could just
it could come in like a Mio squirt bottle for people to squirt into their Busch Light.
Yes, let's do it.
Yes. I love it. By the way, I can't find an alcohol that's made from apricots. There's a lot of apricot flavored
Okay.
alcohols, especially amarettos, but there is no alcohol specifically.
Sometimes it deals with like the sugar content, like because the aronia berries, like half of the sugar doesn't ferment.
There's some apricot brandy.
Yeah, so like wine and brandy would make sense.
Yeah.
So I asked everyone when they bring up their college town, if I'm at Washington State, what street am I going to have a good time?
Where's all the Pullman water?
We call it Greek Row. So
Is that just all the frat houses?
Yeah, and then they have 2 bars just right on that street.
2?
Just two.
How can you be a big party school with 2 bars?
Okay, y'all. So this is why I love Washington State University, because it is literally in the middle of a bunch of wheat fields. So it's just like normal population is probably about 4,000 or something. And then when you got a Pac-12 university, and all the students come back, it rises to about 30,000 or whatever.
Okay.
And so, but it's traditionally just like a small farming town.
Do they have a good agriculture program?
Yes, they have. I mean, it's dropped a little bit over the recent years, but I'm hoping there'll be an increase in the next couple of years.
Okay. Tanner, what's the population of Ames with and without students?
It's like 18 to 34, isn't it?
And then I thought it goes up to 50, over 50 when students are.
I think we're higher than that now. I think we're like 32,000 without anybody and about 68.
Okay. So that'd be Iowa State University.
Yeah,
which,
it doubles. It doubles in population, but I think there's 30-some thousand.
which
in
we're
Ames.
looking for more teams in the Big 12 if you guys want to come over.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness.
The total population of the city is like 65,000 but there's 34,400 permanent residents.
Okay.
That's pretty close. You guys
were
trust
close.
me.
You
man.
were close.
I'm right on the money.
Can't trust you.
I was
going
going to say 25 and 50. That's what it was when I was going to school.
All right, I want to get back to the orchard side of things.
Okay.
You mentioned that you get to help every day is a different task. That's why you enjoy it so much. So how does the labor pool look up in that area? So we've had a couple of conversations with Farmer John in the South, Shay, the farm kid,
Andy Pastor.
Andy Pastor in Canada. So what type of labor helps get all of the orchard chores and fruit picking done?
I was just talking about this the other day. Well, the tree fruit industry is very labor intensive. They haven't come out with a machine that can pick apples. They haven't come out with machines that can really plant trees or anything like that. So everything is pretty much done by hand. So that requires a lot of people to make things happen. And for years growing up, I'd hear my parents complain because we were hiring domestically and it just wasn't consistent. Some years you'd have too many people show up, other years severely understaffed. And so you're like, what you have the culmination of you're getting to harvest and you're like, how am I supposed to get my fruit picked? And so like growers would have to work with each other. Hey, can I borrow some guys? Are you picking on that date? So it was like super chaotic. And then a few years ago, I think about 7 years ago, my parents got into the H2A program. I don't know if you guys have heard about that.
Yep.
Yeah. So we are some of the first in our area to build the housing for that. So we have to provide housing. We have to provide transportation for these guys. You pay a little bit more than minimum wage. It's so worth it. You've got these stellar people coming up from across the Mexican border and they're hardworking, good people. It's been phenomenal for us.
Yeah, consistency is probably the key because it doesn't do you any good. Yeah, what was it? My uncle, I think it was, I can't remember now who it was. Somebody used to bale a lot of square bales. And it seemed like the success of the football team was determined about the number of football players that would show up to help square bale hay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while you'd have a class to where you just couldn't find anybody to come help you. And then the team sucked too.
Yep.
That's funny. Well, like it used to be, I think about 20 years ago, they'd have like a week or two off of school here for kids, high school kids, middle school kids to go and pick fruit.
I agree with what she said on the H2A side of things because, power washing hog barns and loading pigs and work like that or in the construction industry, we've got a big business in town here that does a lot of concrete. I mean, I don't want to say that we're lazy, but these guys are here looking for work and they're skilled and they show up. And I try to have my friends all come out and help load or power wash or whatever, and they don't show up again.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll do it once, right?
Yeah. And it's not cheap. It's not cheap to have these
No,
guys.
but it's more than worth it. And it's such a win-win situation because, we get the work and the completion that we want, and we're very satisfied that way. And especially after a couple of years of some of the same guys coming back, they really get into the same routines and stuff. But they also tell us that they are getting paid enough that they're like really providing for their families and buying property down south. And I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions with our industry that like we are mistreating our employees and just a lot of bad stuff. But this is a really it's a great partnership, really.
Mm-hmm. And here's the deal: if we didn't have them, you probably wouldn't be picking.
We wouldn't have apples.
Yeah.
So maybe
No.
We wouldn't have applesauce or apple cider. Or Perry?
Oh,
Yeah.
Perry. Yeah.
so maybe I missed it. Are you like Braeburn apples, Washington Red Delicious apples, Honeycrisp apples?
Okay, so I'm gonna try to list them off and not repeat myself. Red Delicious, Golden Delicious, Honeycrisp, Granny Smith. We have some Braeburn, I believe, still, and then Pink Lady, Cosmic Crisp, Sugar Bee. I think we have some Pinata.
I love pinatas. I don't know if I've ever had a pinata apple.
No.
It's pretty good.
So is there one that outsells the next one? I'm guessing Honeycrisp.
Honeycrisp is all right. I mean, it made people a lot of money 10 years ago or so, but there's been so many people that have planted the variety and no real control, so it can be competitive pricing as far as retail. And so they're coming out with these club varieties, which you're seeing Pinata as there's less acreage that is allowed to be planted because it is an owned apple variety. It's got patents on it. So I'm really involved with the apple Sugar Bee, which is a Honeycrisp cross. And there's only a certain amount of acreage that is allowed to be planted. We've got 50 acres. And then because there's that limited volume, we as like growers and the salespeople for us have more control over the prices. So retailers don't undercut us.
So what's the sales pitch on on Sugar Bee?
Oh, like, you have no idea. I've handed out like 15,000 apples. I kid you not. I've been on so many trips for this apple. So it's a natural cross-pollination. It's half Honeycrisp and half we don't know what. Because it's a natural cross-pollination, you don't know who the father is, really.
So someone was like, wow, this
jokes?
Honeycrisp tastes different, but I like it.
We
So I'm
don't
gonna
know who
patent
the
it.
father is.
So I'm going to patent it and call it the Honeybee Red-Headed Stepchild.
There are
apple.
so many jokes.
All right, let's keep going.
And I've heard them all. I'm telling you, heard them all.
Answer
But
joke here.
it really is a phenomenal apple. It's a sweeter apple. It's got a phenomenal texture, so it kind of like shears off. It's got a really ideal texture to me. Sweeter, but not too sweet. It's got a little complexity as far as acidity. It stores really well, so we like it.
Yikes. Yeah. I compare this to, we have mostly corn and soybeans in our area. Just because you plant a different hybrid, Corey, doesn't mean you have to market the hybrid any differently.
No, not unless you get into some of the specialty type markets. but
Right.
no.
The waxy corn or the Inogen. But
Yep.
even then, it's not like she just described of, there is no limit to planting a certain hybrid of corn. And I could see why they would be advantageous in the orchard side to creating a limit saying that we're only allowed 1 million Honeycrisp trees.
Supply and demand created it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're creating a balance. I mean, there's so many moving parts in the industry. So you think about it, a retailer, you go into Walmart, they've only got a certain amount of floor space for produce in general, and then a certain amount of space for apples. And so they're thinking about their customers are going in. They want to have variety of color, whether it's green apples, red apples, and yellow apples. There's a joke. It's like, we wish that there was a purple apple because that has diversity.
Well, get on it.
And then you want varieties that are going to make them the most money. So they're going to want to sell those apple varieties that are a little bit more, but you don't want to kill off interest of a consumer. And so it's really keeping that balance.
I wonder if the Aronia melancarpa, the chokeberry, could be crossed to get the purple.
To make a purple apple?
Yeah, maybe. Same family.
Huckleberries.
My favorite apple goes back to when I used to sell fruit for the FFA, and you had all the regular ones, but they always had the Braeburns. I always felt like they were the most crisp and sweet, at least in the FFA batch.
Where is your FFA chapter?
Central Iowa. So
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, you guys, you poor people in the Midwest, you don't.
you poor people in the Midwest.
We say that about everybody else.
And maybe you should go to the FFA and get your sugar bees in that deal. They sell a crap ton of apples.
Yeah. Well, actually, that was my FFA project. Like my SAE project was selling fruit in my community. I started my business, Kate's Crates, but I never did it like through the FFA.
Okay. That was just always, and maybe that's just a regional thing, but that was always our FFA fundraiser in the wintertime once the kids went around and sold fruits and gummy bears and chocolates and
How much?
sausage.
We made cornhole boards and then like Christmas wreaths. And then we did a plant sale.
We used to do Christmas wreaths too.
Okay.
And I miss that now because I live far enough away from my chapter to buy a Christmas wreath.
Oh,
I need them to ship it to me.
You could have your parents buy it and ship it to you.
Oh, I could do that. That was easy.
dang.
Dang.
All right. So you're spending a lot of time focusing on your studies like a good student. And then you're helping out on the family's ranch orchard. Do you have any time to do anything else fun? You got any other hobbies?
I love fishing. Fishing is my favorite thing to do.
Like what kind of fishing? Just any of it?
Bass fishing.
Yeah. Is there
Yeah,
there's
so-
bass up there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yes. There's I think there's about 10 different lakes within 40 minutes of me.
I think I think it was either a TikTok or Instagram post. You had your thumb was all tore up from.
Yeah, it still
holding-
is. That was night before last.
Yeah.
I caught a pretty big river smallie.
Nice.
Yes.
So that's what I do for like my relaxation because I feel like I'm not being productive if I'm not doing something during my relaxing time. So fishing makes me feel like I'm doing something slightly productive,
Never
but
thought
I'm
about
also resting my brain.
I think we're very similar. I'm the same way. If I have time off or I have nothing on the to-do list or nothing pressing, I still need to go do something.
Yep.
I
Yes.
just want to do something that's enjoyable.
Yep.
Yeah, so I rode my horse the other day. That was really nice. I do try to take time for myself because I have seen what it does to my parents and other people in this industry. Like as far as farming, you can overwork yourself and overstress yourself, and it's really important to take care of yourself.
I think I'm in that stage right now, is overworking myself.
Well, good thing
Because I used to
you're
love
having fun then.
fishing and hunting, and I still do love it. I just don't have the time for it anymore, it seems like. But
Right. Yeah.
You get to the point where you just have to make time.
Yeah,
Spoken like she's wise beyond her years.
she is.
Yeah.
See, I like working as my pastime, but I like working for myself on my own projects, not for
Yeah.
other people. So if you work for other people all day long and sell their product or do their thing or your normal job, but that's where guys come home and do woodworking or, fix on the house or something like that. It's your own project, so it doesn't feel like work.
I agree. It gives you your own sense of satisfaction.
But you're still accomplished.
You
for the
work
day.
for yourself, so isn't all your work for yourself?
Oh, he's working for his clients.
We just talked about this on a previous podcast.
Oh, I wasn't here.
There's self-interest and there's
working.
selfish. That would be self-interest, not selfish.
There's shellfish?
Yes.
Yes, you could be shellfish.
It's like a crab?
You can fish for those.
Okay.
So are you a rodeo person on your horse then? Are you a can chaser?
No, I wish I was. But I wasn't born into that. I feel like with a lot of that, you do have to be born into it. My parents are not interested in it. And I was the first person in my family for about 100 years to actually have horses. But I do trail rides around here. We've got gorgeous country up in north central Washington. And so
So-
I love to explore that.
You don't have to be born in it to be a buckle bunny. Are you just chasing cowboys at the rodeo then? Or
Been there, done that, over it.
That's a good answer.
I love that answer. That was a good
Yeah,
answer.
no, not super impressed. I don't go for rodeo cowboys anymore. I'd rather you be a ranch cowboy. That says something to me. My favorite. This is what I've done in my almost 20 years of experience. I have learned how to judge a man based off of how rough his hands are.
Yeah.
If he's a hardworking guy.
Yeah.
And then I also judge you based on what beer you drink. So
Oh,
So
uh-oh.
I'm already out because of the soft banker hands.
Yeah.
The poor banking industry. These young bankers out there in
they're
Washington
just screwed.
are screwed.
Oh, you need to
Chance
play
of
golf
Katy.
more. That golf club in your hand will.
Yeah, everybody wears golf gloves.
Oh, geez, golf gloves. We don't hurt our hand while we're golfing.
That's right.
no, when you're on a Zoom call or something with a client, just take some sandpaper and just
I should.
start rubbing your hands.
She might be onto something. That's funny.
I had a construction buddy say, if you're, it's a successful relationship if your wife asks you to scratch her back and you do it like this.
So if anybody cannot see Dave's palms are wide open.
Yeah.
And he is like washing a window. That's what
wax
he's
on, wax off.
That's what he's doing.
Exfoliation. So.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, man.
No, it's true. It's true.
I had a good follow-up question. Oh, you're wearing some branded apparel. And
Yes.
and you seem to wear that apparel a lot. So tell us a little bit about that relationship.
Yeah, through the social media stuff, I got hooked up with Yee Yee Apparel, and a friend of mine now is of the people like Rodeo Time and Dale Brisby, so I'm supporting them by wearing their shirts.
Nice.
And then the hat I'm wearing is Yee Yee Apparel, and I also work with Grunt Style. But Yee Yee Apparel has been awesome. If you guys don't know about it,
Is that Earl Dibbles?
Yeah, Earl Dibbles
Yep.
it's his brother is the CEO of the clothing company, but they work together with the music of Granger Smith and Earl Dibbles Jr. And then the other Smith brothers help out with they run the clothing side of
I've
things.
seen that brand all over TikTok. So
Do you have any Yee Yee apparel?
No, I don't. But nobody's ever sent
I
me
think
something.
Korean Corn Farmer is with them.
Yeah.
I'm with Wheeler Walker.
Yes, Noah.
Do you have any Yee Yee apparel?
No, I'm with Wheeler Walker.
Oh, so you can't wear
But
Yee
you know
Yee?
what? This is your time to shine because I've got a code. I can get you 10% off.
Oh, there we go.
Ah, nice.
Code Katy Thornton. If you go to the link in my bio on Instagram.
Thornton. The end's not
Yeah,
silent.
that's a thorn with a ton.
There's no thorns on apple trees. Are there thorns on pear trees?
You know what? You can graft a rose to an apple tree.
Ah.
They're in the same family.
No way.
So then it just keeps producing roses?
Yeah, so you can have an apple like tree trunk and then it be cut off and then you'll have roses growing out of it.
Wow. I'd like to see a picture of that.
Can you have a rose bush that grows apples?
Doubt it. Maybe.
I don't think so.
So do you have
Maybe on a trellis.
one thing that I sold an apple orchard once? Did you guys know that?
No.
No.
I
surprise me.
sold an apple orchard, and we of course the trees were where all the money was, but the amount of cooler storage they had was what
Yes.
amazed me. It's got to go right into before they process anything, right into a cooler. You must have an enormous cooler.
We do now because we just bought the warehouse my great grandpa built. And so I'm going to try to get that running so I can run some of my own fruit and ship it out. 'Cause in a past life, I would have been a log truck driver. Okay. I love big rigs and I want to have my own fleet of trucks with my name on them and them shipping fruit all over the place. And so that does have a lot of cold storage that comes with it. But in the past, we've used one of our shops has insulation, but no electricity. So during the fall, it gets really cool at night. And so we just open up the door and then early in the morning, shut that door.
Nice.
Cab over Pete with a reefer on. It sounds like.
Do you follow Edison Motors on TikTok?
No.
Chase
I can't.
Chase Barber.
You should.
You should.
They're making an electric logging truck, with a diesel generator. It's kind of interesting.
It is very interesting. Big Blue, you'd like it.
They're like telling what's the Tesla and all that to like F off, and they're making like one that actually works and with an old cool truck.
Classic trucks too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's their tagline.
It's kind of cool.
Edison Motors stealing Tesla's idea.
Yep.
That'll be cool. I mean, I just hope it works and I hope it makes sense for the truck drivers because my buddies are losing their butts right now with these fuel prices.
Yeah. He said, so we did a show with them. It hasn't been out yet, but they said that it really works for like the logging industry. If you go over the road, it might not work as well, but they have like regenerative braking. And the best part about electric motors is it's pure power, pure torque on demand right now. There's no like RPM that you have to ramp up to or anything like that. And then when they're coming down the mountain and they're braking, they're recharging the battery and they might not even have to run the diesel generator.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
yeah.
That's very cool. I mean, that is like a fairly big industry around these parts.
Will that show be out before this or after?
Before. Yep. Be a couple weeks ahead of hers.
Okay. So yeah, you have to check that one out.
Just a week ahead of yours. So you obviously with this following that you've built up, I'm going to assume that you jumped on TikTok because of COVID.
No.
You were on before?
Yep.
All right. Tell us your TikTok story.
I was an OG, okay?
An OG?
I had TikTok when it was like still weird to
You
have
and
TikTok.
Carly, what is it? Carly D'Amelio or Carmel? What was her name? Charlie.
Oh,
No, because I saw the ads for it on Snapchat, and I was like, might as well. I feel like everyone was kind of looking for the new Vine, and I was like, I'll see what it's about. And it was like a combination of Vine and Musically, the app that it kind of transitioned from.
Yep.
And I was like, this is cool. And then I just started posting videos from my camera roll. I wasn't really creating new content, but I was posting videos from my camera roll of like our 389 Pete rolling out of the shop. And then I went to Reno with I drive a 1995 OBS Power Stroke. And anyone who knows that rig, it's oily, very oily. Like they run off of a high pressure oil pump. And so you just get oil leaks everywhere. And so I parked in a parking garage for the first time, my little hillbilly self. And I was looking around at all the places I parked, and I was like, I'm leaving oil spots everywhere. And I just took a video of me narrating this. And I was like, but no one else has any oil spots. And that got like 250,000 views. And I was like, this can't be real. Like, these are not real views. Like, that was my first assumption. But no, like, I started getting all these followers, and I didn't really tell anyone about it because I was like, that's still weird to have TikTok.
yeah.
And then I hit 30,000 followers, and I was like, this is cool. I can do something with it. And that's when I kind of started working it into the apple and pear industry.
That is cool. So with the large following that you have, I'm assuming you've had a lot of random stuff sent your way. But everybody's always looking for the next cool swag item, the next cool gift to give. So what's been the best thing you've ever just been given?
Just been given?
Yeah, branded stuff. Or maybe you don't get things.
I've been sent a lot of things. I really like, there's this, I think it's by Rockform. It's like a case that it just like is magnetic, and so it sticks to anything. I really like that. It's in like the glove box on my pickup. So if I'm like filming somewhere, I can just slap that case on and then stick it on my pickup.
Is it magnetic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just sticks to.
So I just have a
inside of the
magnet on
pickup.
my phone.
I just saw one the other day for golfing. It's a golf stick. It's just a thin, flexible piece of metal with a magnet on it that you just go jab in the golf course. So if you want to do a shot tracer, you want someone to watch you hit a swing and you're by yourself, then you just stick that behind you on the tee box and you stick your phone to it, and now you got a phone stand.
Ah.
And it just slips
Wow.
right in your golf bag.
Is there apps that can trace the ball?
Oh, yeah. Yep, there's shot tracer apps.
Okay. For free?
I think so. I don't golf well enough to do it, so I haven't done it. That's cool. I like that. Rockform.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of things. Like, I used to do this knife a month box, so I'd get like 3 knives a month, which was great because I lose knives like no other. And then I've had companies send me like a box of jerky, different jerky.
Yeah, I've got that.
Yeah.
They haven't
Nobody
sent me
sends you
one.
knives.
They haven't sent me a box in a month. You know what was weird? He actually reached out to me and said, "Hey, your box is on the way," and then it never came. So I think I got
'cause
pulled off the
Dave
list.
and I took it.
because I didn't perform.
We probably did. Probably ate it.
Yep.
That's cool. Well, this has been a lot of fun. It's first experience with us on a lot of fronts, especially someone who has a pear orchard or lives on a pear ranch.
I gotta do my. I always have an extra question to ask.
Do it.
You do.
Yeah, I always do. I've noticed that lately.
It's like the false ending.
It's
to
because
every
it's like
show.
We probably just
I'm
step on your
sitting
toes
on it,
enough,
and
so
I'm
you're
just like
like,
sitting back here, like all innocent. Like, I'll just wait till the end and interrupt. You're in marketing at college. What are you going to do? I mean, I'm assuming you're going to go back to the farm. Am I correct in saying that? Because you're already there.
Yes, that is like the long-term goal. But right now I'm interning at a company called Chelan Fresh Marketing, and they are a sales desk for about 15% of the apple, pear, and cherry crop for Washington State. And so I am learning from them about like brand management and how they do sales and just how all of that works, like orchestrating with trucks and retailers and like how much volume they have. And then they also have me contracted to film. So like I'll go out and meet other growers, other women in agriculture, video them, and I understand TikTok, and so I'm helping them with all of that kind of stuff. So I might be working for them straight out of college, make some real money, and also help farm, but make some real money, and then probably commit fully to the farming side of things. But also I want to do direct sales. So
Yeah. Do you think they'll let you freelance? Do you have any interest in managing a podcast?
I mean, that was actually one of our goals we were talking about during a meeting, is like, what do I want to do next with all of my following and this platform I have? I want to get into YouTube, but I would love to do like a podcast type of thing.
Well, we know somebody.
Oh, yeah.
A few people.
We can hook you up.
Yep.
We need somebody that knows what you know.
Yes.
The social media part.
Yeah, we don't do a good job of promoting ourselves. Our listeners are very good at promoting us for us.
No,
Nice.
I think there is a lot of value in social media. I think it is the best way you can just cut through the BS and reach your target audience and tell them exactly what you want to tell them and get a good feel of what they want. And I would like to eventually maybe do a seminar. In my rural community, there's a lot of people with small businesses. And so I'd love to like teach them about all these different outlets as far as Instagram and TikTok and just social media in general, how to get good at it and use their creativity. I know everyone has a bit of creativity, and unleash that potential and bring some money to our area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Are you
So as
down?
far as you guys could have a lot of potential there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta unleash it, right?
So, Master Questionnaire, are you done?
I think so. I might have just have one comment left, and it's not anything to do with this, but so we are in the works of putting together, we're going to be at the Farm Progress Show every day.
Mm-hmm.
Come see us at the Sukup booth in the morning or John Deere in the afternoon. But we are also putting like an after party together, and we don't know exactly where. It's going to be south of the fairgrounds, south of the Farm Progress Show grounds, a couple miles, and probably Wednesday night. Would you say?
Yep.
If not Tuesday night, but make sure you start making
planning for
travel
that.
accommodations for that. Whoever's coming, so everyone will
Absolutely.
be invited. We'll have some drinks and food and stuff.
All right, Katie, we ask our guests all the same question. In your long 20 years of productive agricultural involvement, what is some of the best advice that you have ever been given? Listeners, while she's thinking about that, Farm4Profit LLC at gmail.com. Text us or leave us a voicemail, 515-207-9640. We will be with Sukup Manufacturing at the Farm Progress Show in the mornings. We will be with John Deere in the afternoons. Come find us. It might be your opportunity to get on the microphones. And stay tuned for details on the after party as more information is to come.
And hopefully, have some T-shirts.
That'd be great.
Maybe.
Some stuff to give away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Best advice you've ever been given.
Okay, so our farm's motto is growing the best possible fruit with the best possible people. And like I said, a very labor-intensive industry. Dad has always taught me how to be a manager and how to be a leader. And a big part of that is just looking at people. And he told me that everyone has their strengths and everyone has their weaknesses. So minimize their weaknesses, but really take those strengths and run with them and see how you can make them effervesce and just maximize that. And so I really try to impart that into my everyday interactions with people.
I like that.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was really good. So if people want to find you, follow you, chase your story down, what's the best way for them to look you up?
Gosh, it's confusing because I go by Katie, Kate, and Caitlin, and I have an identity crisis every single day. But you can find me on, on Instagram, Caitlin Jill Thornton, Kaitlyn Jill Thornton. And then on TikTok, I am Katy J Thornton 02. And then Katie is spelled Katy. I don't know why, but my parents.
I thought you were in
Is
marketing.
Katy Thornton 01 like a loser or what?
No, Katy J Thornton 02 is my TikTok name. And
Right, but
I need
there's
to
somebody
change-
there before you. There's two people there
That's
before
probably
you.
when she was
Oh,
born.
Guys, that's my birth year.
Oh my!
I was like, okay, the second, which actually is the third because Katy J. Thornton would have been the first one, and then someone else had to go 0-1.
It makes me feel so old.
I know I'm the living and breathing 2002 baby. I wasn't even around for 9/11,
That's
but I'm
Wow.
voting now.
I bet that's no, probably not a first. We had Laura Farms. She's probably that age.
Yep.
Even Noah. Even he would be cool.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Logan's probably like 23, I think.
Is she now?
You had her
Yeah.
on when she was 20, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
And that was 2 years
That
ago.
still makes her older than Katy.
Yeah.
I'm the baby.
Wow, there you go. Carry that trophy with pride. Well, this has been a lot of fun. We've learned a lot. We appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us. Hopefully, we could do it again sometime. Maybe meet up in person. When
I would love that. I look for any excuse to do any traveling, so I'd love to come out to Iowa. I've always wanted to come out to Iowa, so
hey, there you go. Farm Progress show's coming up. Otherwise, you can come look at Corey's aronia berries.
Yeah.
See if we can get a purple apple.
Take a ride in the Bushlight Combine.
Take a ride.
Yes.
Yeah.
all right. Sounds good. Thank you guys for inviting me on.
No, thank you so much. This has been a pleasure. And listeners, until next time. Are you not going to tell them to crack a
Crack
beer?
a Worcestershire and put a little Bushlight in it.